Hello guys, it's 10 o'clock on a Monday, and you know what that means. It's time for a Marlo Monday. Alright, so that's a complete ripoff of some of Craig Petty's intros. I had to copy him because, well, he's just the greatest. In this video, I'm going to share with you a really natural card control devised by Ed Marlo, and some other touches and some subtleties by Ed Marlo as well. Let's get into it. Okay, so I will demonstrate first what this control looks like, and then I will break it down for you and go over all the subtleties and the nuances that make it so deceptive. Alright, so let's imagine that we have somebody here, and we're just going to drop cards and have them say stop anytime. So once they do, it's very simple. All I got to do is just show them the card like this, and they remember it, and then they just don't forget it, okay? So this control is really great because you don't really have to do anything. In fact, you can give the deck some cuts like this if you want to. And if you're really feeling juicy, and maybe you can give it a quick shuffle too, just to really make sure the card's lost. But anytime you need the card, it's really simple. You just got to give it a quick snap, and that card just jumps to the top of the deck. That Ace of Diamonds. Okay, so this control, spoiler alert, uses a crimp. And this crimp is an Ed Marlo idea, obviously. And a good idea to practice crimp work, because just like anything else, it takes practice. A good idea is to take a joker and use that to crimp the card. Use the joker as the card that you'll crimp all the time, because you'll find that when you go through and you practice this and you are crimping so many cards, the whole deck becomes just so, it's unusable. So you want to keep your deck good and usable where all the cards aren't being crimped as you practice. So that's exactly what I'll do here, because this is a nice deck and I just wanted to do that for the performance. But this is how you'll practice. So just dribble the deck and have the person say stop. And once they do, you show them the card. I'll use the joker here. You show them the card by pushing it forward like this. Now as you go up to show it, all you're going to do is put your thumb on the back of the card like this. And as you come up to show it, they're just going to look at their card and ask them to remember it. But what's going to happen is you're going to crimp that card in that process. All right, so the crimp looks like this. So all you're going to do is push that card over against your ring finger or your third finger and use that upper joint of your finger to crimp the card down against the deck. So this is exposed view. All you're going to do is this, just crimp that card down. So you see it's sort of bubbling down, right? With using your ring finger just to push it down, to put a bend in the card. That's what a crimp is, just bending the card. All right, so that's hidden. As you push it up, come up to show it like this, and just put the crimp in. I just did it. You're right here, just bending that card, the corner of the card down with your ring finger. That's all it is, you're just bending the card down. All right, so now when you go back down, you just push it back in and dribble the rest of the cards back on, hiding in that crimp. And now you can just set the cards down, dribble them on the table if you'd like, just for a complete natural look. Now the cool thing about a crimp and what a crimp is used for is being able to cut to it. In this case, you are going to cut to it. Whether it's in your hand or on the table, it doesn't make a lot of difference. But since we're already on the table, there's no need to put it in your hands and then cut it. But since we're already on the table, just cut. You'll instantly cut to it. It doesn't take any work. It's just automatic. You'll always cut to that crimped card. In this case, it would be on the bottom of the packet since we did a downward crimp. If it was an upward crimp, it would be on the top bottom packet there. Anyway, so you just cut to it. Say, yeah, we'll give it a couple cuts like this, and instantly their card will be on the bottom of this cut packet over here. So you can give it a couple more cuts like this just to lose it more, right? Now what you're going to do is shuffle that card to the top of the deck with an overhand shuffle. And normally when you would do that, you would just sort of overhand shuffle normally and just run singles towards the end. So you can run that single card to the top, running singles. But here's another Ed Marlo idea to avoid running all those singles at the end, which is just fantastic. So what you're going to do here is as you go to take the deck in the overhand grip, all you're going to do is buckle that bottom selection, the bottom card, with your middle finger. So your thumb from above is applying pressure on that corner, and your middle finger is applying upward pressure on the bottom. So you're in sort of that position there. So all you do here is, like I said, buckle that card with those pressures there, and that card just gets buckled like this. You can see that happening right there, just like that. And now what you do is you transfer that that gap into a thumb break in overhand shuffle position. So you have that thumb break there now. So in slow motion, it all looks like this. You come up, you get in that position. As you take the deck, it's being buckled, and you just immediately catch that thumb break right there. Now, since we have that thumb break, you don't need to run cards. So all you do is begin an overhand shuffle, and when you get about, a quarter of the deck, just toss those on, and you're just left with one card, that selection, so you can just toss it on very naturally. So in the full speed, it looks very good. You're here, and it just looks like you shuffle the deck, and there's no running of those a single card, so it's very good. Now their card is on top of the deck, but there is a giant bend in it, so what do you do here? Well, here's a great way to take the card off and look at it, apparently asking them what their card is, and take the bend out of the card, alright? So a lot of times you'll see people do crimp work, and they'll show the card that's been crimped, but they won't take the crimp out, and that just gives away the secret immediately. So what you need to do at all times, if you're going to actually reveal the crimped card, take the crimp out first, okay? So here's a good way to do that. So what was your card? Like, you take the card off, say, what was your card? And then instantly right there, I've just taken the crimp out. And this bending action, just by looking at it, it's very natural, right? So again, we put the crimp back in, so maybe you have something like that there. So as soon as you take it, and you want to keep it sort of tilted like this so they can't actually see the crimp there. So just take the card off like this, hiding that crimp with your fingers like this at the back. And you just look at it, say, what was your card? What? It was the Joker? No way, it's right there. And you can see I've just taken the crimp out just by looking at the card and asking them a question. Now that the card is actually on top, you don't have to show that it's just jumped to the top. You can do anything with it for any type of trick that you want to do. It's just up to you, but that's a very great way to get a card to the top in a very natural way, thanks to Edward Marlo. Alright guys, so as always, thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to watch this video. It means the world to me. And if you learned something new, if you got value from this video, do me a huge favor and hit that like button and sub to the channel. Until next time, happy practicing. I love you guys.